Hey guys, it's Richard, and damn, it's been a very long time since I made a video, which I'm really sorry about. This video is going to be explaining the reasons why I haven't actually been making videos and why I've not actually been playing Runescape at all, to be honest. So if that's not the kind of video you want to watch, then feel free to click away now. I won't be offended or anything like that. Just a word about the gameplay that's in the background. I'm just killing some of those automaton things that you do after the world wakes, because I found them to be quite fun little mini monsters to kill, so been killing some of those, hoping to get some good drops. Now anyway, on to the explanation. So I actually kind of explained this in the past. It was quite some time ago that I actually did it. Back when I think it was around January, February time. I wasn't really making videos very frequently back then because of the same reasons that I'm going to explain now. But for those of you that have watched that video, then you might not want to hear this again, so another reason to perhaps click away. But basically, last year was my last year that I was in school. I was in sixth form, which is just basically the last year of school for us. And I was sitting my A-levels, and I didn't exactly do as well as I hoped, which is part of the reason that I took a gap year, which is what I'm on now, because I'm 19, so most people would either be at university or heading into the career world, but I'm basically just taking a gap year, which, to sum it up, means being really lazy and not really doing much, or at least for me it does anyway. And basically, I decided to resit some of those A-levels that I didn't do very well in last year. So I've actually decided to resit 6 different exams, which means that there's quite a lot of revision going on, because I wanted to get into the best university that I could. One of the main things that made me start revising ahead of a lot more and everything like that was I actually got an offer from the University of Exeter to do electronic engineering, which is unbelievably exciting. I really wanted to do that, although in the past I've always sort of said computer science, but I changed to electronic engineering when I found I didn't need physics to do it at Exeter. So that got very exciting, and so I'm actually heading into the world of electronic engineering if I do get these grades. So I've got 3 exams in pretty much a month's time, well, just less than a month now actually, I think, and I'll have another 3 exams in about 2 months' time, and then I'll be completely free for basically the entire summer until around September time, when I'll actually be heading off to university, which I'll actually be heading off on my birthday, which is always a nice one. But in the summer, definitely I'll be going back to making videos the same way that I always have. Perhaps not daily, because I'll be entirely honest, I haven't really been playing RuneScape, which is something I'll touch on in a bit. I'll kind of explain why I haven't been doing that as well. But yeah, so the summer, I'll be getting into video making, whatever. I still won't have the really good internet for live streaming, but once I'm at uni, I will, because they just have crazy internet there, so I'm looking forward to that. So one of the reasons I haven't really been playing RuneScape that much. So obviously there's the main factor that I'm spending a lot of my time revising, spending as much of my time as I can, sort of absorbing information for those exams, trying to do as best I can. But at the same time, it was around the time that 2007 Scape was released that I really started to feel quite demotivated to play RuneScape. And I know I'm not the only one, but for a lot of people, when they released the 07 servers, it did split the community. Like, a lot of people will say it didn't and whatever, actually brought back the community. But from what I've seen, it has definitely split the community a little bit. And there's a lot of arguments going on and things like that. And although I'm not blaming that for the reason that I've stopped playing, it definitely had a factor, because it kind of made it less appealing to play when there are quite a lot of people that are getting quite angry at you almost for playing the EOC, and then you got people that, you get people that play the EOC that get angry at you for playing 07. So it's kind of a lose-lose situation when it comes to that. But I mean, at the end of the day, that they are a minority, they just stick out like a sore thumb. But then there's also the factor of what game to play. Like, when it comes to RuneScape, it's one of those games that you do put all of your effort into, and you focus quite a lot of time into it. And so when you're trying to balance effectively 2 different accounts on basically 2 entirely different games, it's quite difficult. And I don't know, I just felt like I couldn't really play one or the other for some reason. And it sounds really weird, but that's just kind of the way I felt during that period of time. And I wasn't really enjoying either of them, to be completely honest. I mean, when it came to the EOC, I realised how easy it had become. But then at the same time, I was playing 07, there are just so many things that I really did miss, and there are just so many things in the EOC that you would love to have in 07. And so I basically just stopped playing both of them. I didn't play either of them. It's actually been probably over a month now since I've properly played RuneScape. I actually logged in, I don't know, for maybe like 20 minutes to get this footage, although I did my miscellaneous management and did that crap. Just, I thought might as well get some money. And I've even stopped doing my ports, which is really quite appalling, because that means I haven't been getting the armor and everything. But as you can see in the background, I do have my C-Singer, which is the important bit. But yeah, so I don't know whether or not I will actually improve the amount that I play RuneScape when it comes to the summer, because I've had a very different outlook on life lately. I know that sounds really weird, but I've been trying to spend as much time as I can away from computers. I'm not saying that it makes you antisocial or anything, but personally I've just found that because of the nature of just being indoors all the time, it definitely had quite big impacts on my mood. And this isn't meant to get into like a philosophical discussion here, but I did find that was a factor, and I didn't really just want to be sat inside all day, and so I changed the way that I spend my life a lot. And I've got to bear in mind that I kind of sat at my computer all day, which was really bad, and I wasn't really gaining much in the way of life skills from it, because I'm gonna be living on my own for the next 3 years pretty much, and I don't know, it's kind of a scary thought, and it kind of makes you think wider about the world and stuff, and perhaps move beyond this whole RuneScape game. And one final factor that I'm sure that has been plaguing a lot of people that play RuneScape for quite some time is the game dying? And that's like a big question that a lot of people have been saying. Like the player base clearly has been declining, and a lot of people blame various things like the EOC, the Solomon's General Store, the Wheel of Fortune, and things like that. But for me, I think a lot of people are just growing up. I mean, maybe RuneScape doesn't fit the current generation of player as much as it used to, and so it's less appealing to people, which I suppose is probably one of the main reasons they actually came up with the EOC in the first place. But I don't know, I just don't know if it's had its prime almost. A lot of MMOs are feeling like that. I mean, I know World of Warcraft has definitely declined in players. I think maybe gaming in general isn't... Well, I don't really want to say that, because I swear gaming is bigger than ever, but at the same time, a lot of the previously quite big games are actually declining, and it's kind of a complicated one, because I know gaming is definitely improving, but at the same time, some games they've kind of passed their prime. Like, for example, Call of Duty, that's for the first time ever having a decrease in sales figures and things like that. And it is kind of, I think it's finally having a downturn for a lot of the bigger games, including RuneScape. And I really have rambled on now for about 7 minutes, really gone off topic. So a few factors that have basically said why I've kind of stopped playing RuneScape, stopped doing YouTube. But I will be doing a video tomorrow, I promise. I'll have a video released tomorrow, and it will be about the HTML5 beta. For some reason, my frame rate is terrible. So when I say terrible, I don't mean sort of like, oh, I'm only getting 30 frames per second. It's a bit jolty. I'm talking like half a frame a second on the highest settings. But I'm going to be doing a video saying about my opinions, like does it all work together, stating out the flaws, of course, because that's what us British do best, that's complain, and we'll just see how it turns out. And I've got a few opinions about it so far. I'll be honest, I haven't played it extensively. I've just logged in a couple of times, had a look around, but for the most part, it's not looking great at the moment. But obviously, it is a beta. It's to be expected to not be great. But hopefully, you will see that video tomorrow. Actually, I'm going to make that an aim. It will be released tomorrow. It will be released tomorrow by 8 PM GMT. If it's not, then some form of forfeit. Anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you for surviving for 8 minutes long listening to my rambling voice about random rubbish that's probably not really that much interest to you. But yes, thank you, and I'll see you tomorrow.